I haven't made a video for a while. Um, and I'm beachside. I was lakeside last month, now I'm beachside. And one reason I haven't made a video is because the last car video I did was so fucking good. So fucking good. Have you watched the last car video I did? I was talking about something. I'll put a link above. You watch that car video instead of this video if you're going to watch a video of mine today. I was talking in that video about just a very, very easy technique or approach to feel better. And yeah, it's one of the better videos on this channel. I can tell you that much. At least for a lot of you. It's not a technique that everybody has to use by any means. But if it resonates with you, it's going to be very helpful. But yeah, I'm making a video today because I haven't made one for a while, and I wanted to tie in the subject of easiness, because that last video, really, the technique is easy. It's very easy to do if you decide to do it. And I got a question from a reader yesterday or something. I think yesterday. Just asking about some stuff regarding this process of improving your life and hopefully manifesting external things. And it made me think of what we're talking about here in terms of easiness. Because here's my opinion when it comes to a lot of these manifesting ideas and, feeling better in general. Because again, to beat a dead horse, because that's what I like to do. My focus, I guess you could say my specialty, is on like this stress management side of this. Feeling better on the inside. If you feel less anxious, less nervous, feel better, more present, more generally speaking, more calm, and, just in the moment in your day-to-day life, which does not mean it's going to be all roses and flowers and you always feel spectacular, but you just feel more present and okay. You just feel okay in your day-to-day life, which is really, so much of that is just like stress management and doing what we can to curb our feelings of anxiety and feel more accepting of our emotions and our feelings when they come up, right? If we do that, and generally speaking, feel more okay, feel better, our external reality starts to change as well. Generally speaking, a lot of the time, especially if you know about these manifesting principles. That's my angle. But if you look at manifesting external things in that way, it's a different process. Because like a lot of people put the cart before the horse. They're trying to get this specific thing, like a specific person in their life, or a specific amount of money, or a specific job, or improve this specific health problem. While generally speaking, the way that we're talking about it here is we're really focusing on feeling more okay with what's going on right now, being more at peace with what's happening, and feeling better and having a very gentle focus on changing our external reality as well. Having that gentle but continual focus on wanting to change things externally, making that kind of our new assumption, but being much more focused moment to moment on just feeling okay right now. Feel good, not bad, as I said, The Law of Attraction Simplified, my book, The Law of Attraction Simplified. That type of approach is not easy. Not easy. It's mature, it's not something that is sexy or glamorous a lot of the time. And why I like that last car video, the technique so much that we're talking about, is because it's a relatively easy technique, and we should utilize what is easy in this process, what is, effective and easy to the best of our abilities. Because so much of this stuff, the creative process of actually changing things externally, is not going to seem easy. It's not going to seem easy. You're going to be like, why hasn't this changed yet? Why is this taking so long? What's wrong with me? Is this going to happen? And you got to work through that. those thoughts and those feelings that come up. And that's the fucking process most of the time. And it's okay if you disagree with me, but, I'm assuming that, like, you like the approach that I generally speak about if you're watching this video. But it's a process. And the email I got, they were saying that, and I get emails like this, somewhat frequently, like, this person was saying, I used to be disciplined, and since I've gotten into these law of attraction ideas, I've become much less disciplined. And it's a problem for me right now, not being disciplined. I want to be more disciplined, but I've lost it. Likewise, I get, people commenting or emailing me saying, I had more success unconsciously utilizing these principles than I now do consciously utilizing them. In other words, I used to manifest things more easily before I knew what the hell I was doing, quote unquote, before I read Neville or, Abraham Hicks or whatever. And these are very common issues that we all go through. And what I'm saying is it's okay. That's the process. That is the process. It's like, I used to manifest things like when I wasn't as conscious of these ideas and these concepts or didn't know anything about them more easily. And now I'm not. And it's like, acknowledge that. That's great to see that. And then you work through that. But how you work through that is not going to be, you do this one special thing. No, you got to work through it emotionally. And working through something emotionally, noticing things aren't working out the way you want to in the 3D, in the external world, the way you want or as quickly as you want, and having all these difficult feelings come up related to that and working with them, that's the process. And a very easy way to deal with that is like the technique I mentioned the other day, sitting on your butt a couple times a day, not doing anything, quote unquote, not doing anything, just sitting there. But there's all these other ways, of course. Ways I like to do it, like the vibing out thing I talk about in The Joy of Not Thinking, moving around, getting really playful, like I talk about in The Joy of Not Thinking, talking out loud, like I talk about in The Joy of Not Thinking, success indicator, mental diets of various kinds, all these different ways, all these different techniques, right? Do what works for you. But the process is not as straightforward and black and white as people usually make it sound, especially on social media. It's very, very gray. Embrace the grayness. My therapist, she talks about ambivalence a lot and how we're ambivalent towards a lot of things. We think we want something, but if we look deeper, we realize we're more ambivalent towards it than we at first expected. Use that to your advantage. Don't make that a disadvantage. Your ambivalence towards most things is an advantage, not a disadvantage, if you make it so. In regards to something like not being disciplined, once you find out about these ideas, get more into these manifesting ideas, you want to be more disciplined, but since you got into LOA, you feel like you're not. And, we've touched upon this many times, because it seems like, I just want to relax and have things come to me. And, I know I can get things more easily because I now know about these principles. Well, we often find out it's not that simple. We want to relax, but then we can't relax. Like I talk about in Relax More, Try Less. And that's okay. If you like to be disciplined and you know that discipline works well for you, and you notice that you've become less disciplined since you got into these ideas, first of all, it's great that you're aware of that. In many ways, that's probably half the battle right there. You're aware that you're not as disciplined since you got into these ideas and that you're not getting the results you want. Now, if you want to get that discipline back, just fucking do it. Just do it to the best of your abilities. Become more disciplined again. Build in habits like Cecilia always talks about, like make habits so you feel more disciplined, so to spark you, Cecilia talks about using habits to feel more joyful, but you can also use habits to just become more disciplined. You can use habits to become more whatever you want. You've already been disciplined before and it's worked to your advantage. Just start implementing that stuff again. Don't feel like you have to do it overnight. You can do it overnight, but if that seems difficult to do, just slowly put more discipline back in there. You now know about these LOA ideas, and you can also throw the discipline in there. Mentioned the success indicator already in this video. W. Clement Stone knew more about these manifesting ideas and implementing them than just about anybody I can think of in terms of changing their 3D reality, right? W. Clement Stone was a master manifester, if we're going to use that dumb term. You know, somebody who created a tremendous amount of external change in his life. I would also say he was incredibly disciplined. You know, those two things went hand in hand for him. You can also be a very sloppy, quote unquote, lazy manifester, and that works very well for other people. It depends on your subjective tastes and your preferences, you know? Use your sensibility to your advantage. Use how you feel about certain things and the ambivalence you feel probably towards most things. Like, I don't really give a shit about a lot of things, but that's a good thing. And the few things I do care about, it's good to really think about what I care about and what I'm good at. You know, likewise, like I'm not that good at most things, but I'm good at a few things, so I focus on that. Anyway, these are a couple thoughts and feelings. I hope that the person who emailed me watches this. I'll send them the link. But yeah, I mean, this journey in terms of getting your reality, your external reality to change, it's so muddled and gray. I mean, again, like Maggie talks about this really well on YouTube and has for a long time, but I don't know that many like YouTubers who talk about how gray and, you know, how ambivalent it sometimes is, like this process, the creative process of changing your external world. People just don't talk about it enough. And that's just like, embrace that. Because like, it's all good, right? It's all good. If we're starting from within and going to without, it's about feeling good on the inside no matter what's happening externally to the best of our abilities. Much easier said than done a lot of the time, but we can focus much more on it and feel okay right now. You know, that's so powerful. So just remember that. And yeah, if you have any questions, as always, let me know. If you would like coaching from me, let me know. And until next time, you know, just take it easy and don't beat yourself up. You're good enough right now. Just do your best to feel okay right now, and know that you're doing the right thing if you're doing that.